Max? Chloe?
Back in 2016, I started this channel with a review of Life is Strange, which was one of the best modern adventure games I'd played at the time. It introduced us to Max Caulfield and Chloe Price, two young, lovable hipster BFFs growing up together in the seaside town of Arcadia Bay. The two girls had an incredible chemistry together that pushed the game's narrative on a really personal level. But this game isn't about that relationship, instead focusing on the life and events that shaped the character of Chloe Price before the storm. Life is Strange Before the Storm was released in 2017, and I actually started this video back then, I just never released it until now. So let's take a look at what I thought about the game 6 years ago and see if my opinion still holds true today. Taking place 3 years prior to the events of the original game, Before the Storm follows 16-year-old Chloe trying to navigate her adolescence while still reeling from the traumatic loss of her father. Being a rebellious young teenager, Chloe makes an unexpected connection with Rachel Amber, one of the most popular girls in school, and the two girls form an emotional bond over the next few days, growing both as individuals and uncovering deep-rooted conspiracies that will change the course of their lives forever. Like the first game, the story is full of hard-hitting emotions that really connect the player to the choices being made. But unfortunately, most of the choices don't feel quite as heavy as they did in Life is Strange, and being a prequel, there are only so many ways the game can possibly end. On that note, the story being told here is still a good one, with unexpected twists and turns along the way, and serves as great character development for Chloe and her relationship with Rachel in a way that forms an even deeper connection to their roles in Life is Strange. For the most part, the gameplay in Before the Storm still follows the conventional adventure game structure, but without Max, loses the time travel aesthetic of the original game, replacing it with a backtalk feature that allows Chloe to smart-mouth her adversaries and put them in their place, in exchange for information or getting around sticky situations. It really only works as a pass-or-fail mechanic to progress conversation in a positive or negative direction, but it's enjoyable enough to not hinder the experience in any way. Gathering information, collecting and using items, and solving the occasional puzzle are still the story's primary interactions, and exploring Arcadia Bay in both familiar and new locations is deeply enjoyable, especially as a fan of the original. One of my favorite interactions in the game is the opportunity to play a short Dungeons & Dragons campaign with some of Chloe's friends. Rolling a d20, choosing how to infiltrate enemy camps, and battling giant monsters with Chloe's teenage wit and brevity brought a huge smile to my face and made me wish for an entire game-within-a-game spin-off featuring this cast. Seriously guys, make it happen. Whereas the first game was created by French developer Don't Nod Entertainment, Before the Storm was outsourced to a smaller team called Deck 9, and they did a really great job recreating Arcadia Bay from the ground up. Before the Storm's hand-painted graphics haven't changed much from the original, even though Deck 9 took all the original assets from Unreal Engine 3 and ported them into the Unity engine. The lip sync is better, lighting and shadows stand out more, and the visuals are a bit more polished, but not enough to really stand out as something new. Familiar locations such as Chloe's house and Blackwell Academy look pretty much the same other than being set 3 years earlier. Overall, Before the Storm is still visually pleasing to look at, but the engine is definitely starting to show its age. On the audio side of things, Before the Storm sounds plenty similar to the original, but with some pretty big internal changes. The original game had an excellent indie rock soundtrack with a plethora of licensed artists setting the scene. But this time, the developers chose to go with just one artist, British indie folk band Daughter, who used the game's script and concept art as inspiration for each track in the game. The result is a score that's similar enough to the original, though not quite as memorable, in my personal opinion. Voice acting again is excellent, though with one major replacement to the cast. The game was in development during the video game voice actor strike of 2016. Because of this, Ashley Birch, the original voice actor for Chloe, wasn't able to reprise her role in the prequel. Fortunately, she was replaced by Rihanna DeVries, who did motion capture for Chloe and served as Ashley's understudy, while Ashley herself served as a writing consultant to help portray Chloe as close to the source material as possible. The result is excellent, with a version of Chloe that sounds just a tad bit younger and doesn't detract at all from the character. In the end, Life is Strange Before the Storm serves as a relevant look into Chloe's past, shaping her into the difficult and defiant young woman she becomes in Life is Strange. The relationship developed between Chloe and Rachel is a powerful one, and the return to Arcadia Bay brings the nostalgic feelings that any fan of the series is sure to love. If you played the original game, you should definitely give Before the Storm at least one playthrough and experience Chloe's story for yourself. So yeah, Before the Storm is a pretty good Life is Strange game, and if you loved the original, I can definitely recommend checking it out. And if you liked this video, do the YouTube things like clicking the like button and the subscribe button, and check out some of these other videos. Until then, stay positive, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one.